and the coon within you. Yo, I was been messing with this dang live stream for a hot minute. My computer was tripping. I had to restart my whole computer. It's a bunch of bull. But I just wanted to jump on here real quick after I got off of work. This took a lot longer than I meant to get this started, but just kind of wanted to get on here and talk to y'all for a little bit, quick minute. I probably won't be on as long as I originally anticipated because I do gotta get some sleep, working a full-time job, part-time job, everything like that. That's why I haven't really been on the last 3-4 weeks. Just been working a lot lately, everything like that. But just kind of wanted to give my quick thoughts on some things that's been going on lately, everything like that with the Leaving Neverland quote unquote documentary, and just you know the interview with Gayle King and R. Kelly, and just all these things that's been going on lately. And real quick, I was going to say shout out to Sister Ganage 87. I don't know how you pronounce your YouTube name. I wouldn't subscribe to you. I know you don't got no videos, but GANIAJ 87. I'm tired right now, so I'm not gonna try to say your name again. No, I'd probably butcher that, but I made you a mod. I didn't expect nobody to be in this live stream. I just kind of wanted to test it out on my channel, and I was having some issues with my computer and just some other stuff. So it took me a hot minute to get this going. But for those of you that subscribe to me, thank you. You'll probably get the playback. I don't respect nobody to be in here for this live stream. I just kind of wanted to test this out, just kind of get a feel of it. I'm kind of new to this. I used to make YouTube videos a long time ago, old channel, but the way YouTube is now compared to back then is completely different. So I'm basically a complete noob all over again. So I'm just kind of starting over, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So, as most of you guys know now, because this is all kind of old stuff, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on it. The whole thing with the Leaving Neverland documentary, the two guys that was on there talking was Wade. I don't see the other guy's name was like Jacob or something like that. Honestly, their names are kind of irrelevant to me, but basically, in my opinion, and really, this isn't opinions. If you guys are kind of keeping up with what's going on, is all a bunch of bullshit. Uh, these guys, I know Wade for sure. When after Mike had died 10 years ago, it'd be 10 years to the day this coming summer, in a few months. He had said and admitted that his parents told him to lie on Michael Jackson and say that Mike touched him so they could get money from him. Man, at the time, he was young, he was a kid, it was late 80s, early 90s. So he was just doing what his parents said. But after Mike had passed away, he said that he had felt bad and that Mike never did anything, all this type of stuff. And I believe it was the same for the other guy. And now all of a sudden, after their money done dried up and all this stuff, now all of a sudden they want to come out and say, "Oh, we remember that Mike did this, Mike did that." Their timelines weren't even matching up with the years that they were saying that they were at Neverland with Mike. Mike was on the bad tour during this time, and all this different stuff was going on. Like it was just the whole thing was just nothing but a sorry ass cash grab. It was a huge fail. Their ratings were not what they thought it was gonna be, anything like that. And shout out to whoever's in here who hit the like button. Thank you. All this type of stuff, but basically the whole thing was just a bunch of bullshit. But in my opinion, I feel like Oprah Winfrey as well as Gayle King really are just another set of tools that are being used by the white supremacists, them being black women. It's easy. And this is not me trying to get at black women in general. I'm just saying it's easy for white supremacists to use black women when it comes to attacking the black community, whether that's specifically black men or black women or just the black community in general, black men, women, and children, because it's easy to use black women for these type of things, because then the liberals, the so-called liberals, can fall back and be like, if you try to talk out on this stuff and be like, oh well, are you against black women? Because black women, on paper are a double minority. They're black and they're women. So not only do they deal with white supremacy from a racist standpoint, but they also have to deal with sexism or patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. They got to deal with all of this. Obviously white women do too, but black women deal with sexism to a level that white women know nothing about. Because white women still have white privilege. Just like on paper, as black men, we do have a certain level of male privilege, but nowhere to the same degree as a white man. You see what I'm saying? Black women technically don't really have gender privilege or race privilege as a whole. Now, you can argue when it comes to the justice system that the justice system treats black women better than they do black men, things like this. I'm just saying, as a whole, black women deal with more sexism than we do as black men, and they deal with more racism, obviously, than white women do. You see what I'm saying? So when white supremacy uses black women this way as a tool, when it comes down to attacking the black male image, it's easier to use them than it would be to use a black man, because we're still men. So people can play in the whole, male privilege thing. You can't really do that with black women. So then they can sit back and use a little trick bag terminology and be like, oh, well, you're attacking black women. Oh, well, they're a double minority. How dare you say you're going to call out Oprah or Gayle? Oh, you must hate black women. No, it's not about black women as a whole. It's about these individual people that are not down with the black community as they should be, as we all should be on code. They are not on code. And this is not me defending R. Kelly, by the way. I am defending Mike because I don't think that he did the things that these two individuals are saying from this Leaving Neverland documentary. When it comes to R. Kelly, we all know what this man has done and what he is continuing to do. My issue is, why is it every time an R. Kelly or a Bill Cosby or a Michael Jackson has or allegedly has done something, that everybody within the mainstream Hollywood, things of this nature, will collectively get together and have this high energy to push this whole narrative that, hey, we need to talk about rape culture, we need to talk about toxic masculinity, when it's black men doing it. But you do not see that same energy when it comes to the Harvey Weinsteins and whatnot. And every time we as black people bring this up, for some reason it's a problem. But for some reason we're not defending black women. For some reason, we're trying to deviate from the issue, when last I checked, the issue was, people being raped. So if we know within Hollywood, for example, because the three men I just mentioned, Mike, Kelly, and Cosby, all these people are famous or within Hollywood, within the music industry, all of these things. Why do we not see the same energy when it comes to the Donald Trumps, the Weinstein, so on and so forth? What's his name? Is it Roman Polanski? I don't know people's names wrong. Look, I'm tired. It's 4:30 in the morning, just in case you're watching the playback. So I'm a little tired. Been at work all day. So you got all these people, and my thing is, if you want to have this energy for Mike and them, fine. Because at the end of the day, we were not there. We only people that really truly know what went down is Mike, who was now dead, and the people that were children at the time, who, in my opinion, are lying. But they are the only ones who really know what happened, right? So all I'm saying is, if you're going to have this type of energy, if you're going to bring this type of platform where you're going to interview these victims, when it comes to the alleged victims of Michael Jackson, or when it comes to these women that have been abused by R. Kelly, as well as interviewing R. Kelly as Gayle King has, you're going to do all this stuff. Why can't you have Harvey Weinstein, who Oprah and Gayle are both friends with? They can't get Harvey Weinstein on their platform. And even if Weinstein, refuses, fine. You're telling me that you can't interview some of his victims like Lupita Nyong'o, all these other actresses that, have been attacked by Weinstein or have or at least Weinstein has attempted to attack them. You're telling me that you can't have uh, any of these. Sorry, I'm just reading some. You can't have any of these people on your platform. I don't understand. Oh, sounds good. Technical difficulties, but yeah, you can't have any of these people on your platform. Oprah can't bring them on. Gayle can't bring them on and talk to them. It is supposed to be about protecting women, about protecting Black women specifically. Why haven't any of these victims been interviewed that have been victims of Harvey Weinstein? You see what I'm saying? Like where is the energy when it comes to that? This is about protecting women. This is about exposing rapists and sexual assaulters to all degrees. Why aren't you talking about these sexual assaulters to the same degree, the same amount, the same kind of repetition? When you don't do that as a Black man, and in my opinion, anybody who has any type of common sense. You ain't gotta be full blown conscious, but just anybody who has any level of common sense. How can you not see at least the possibility that this is an attack on the Black male image? The same thing that we have seen all going back to the early 1900s with the movie A Birth of a Nation, not the one that Nate Parker did, talking about the original one, the first big Hollywood film, where the Black males, after Black men and women were free from slavery, with the narrative of the movie is about Black men just sort of running amok, raping and attacking white women. So the Ku Klux Klan in the movie were the heroes that lynched and strung up Black men. And in the movie, they burnt crosses, all this type of stuff, which is where the Ku Klux Klan actually got the idea of burning crosses. Like they didn't come up with that themselves. They got that from that film, A Birth of a Nation. It's people imitating art. So now we're seeing the continuation, and I'm not saying that it went just from the early 1900s and shit went dead and then just popping up now 100 years later, but just every few decades, we see this narrative popping up that Black men are just overly, sexually mischievous and rapists, just like we see the narrative on the side of Black women, this false narrative as well of Black women being Jezebels, which is what they used to call it, being overly sexual to the point where the narrative is that you can't rape Black women. Once again, that is also a false narrative, but this is what they do with Black people when it comes to our sexuality. It's that, oh well, Black men just want to fuck everything, they just want to rape everything, they're uncontrollable, we got to kill them, we got to lock them up, we got to control them, otherwise they're going to just rape all the women. And with Black women, it's, oh well, they're just so promiscuous that, I mean, shit, you can't really rape them. I mean, you can't rape the willing. I mean, the Black women, they're just so damn horny, and they can't control themselves either. That, I mean, shit, you can't lock me up as a white man for touching and doing God knows what to this Black woman, because clearly she wanted it. Like these are and we see these images, and I'll be real, as Black men, we do consciously and unconsciously help to promote these images, whether it's through hip hop or just your average Black man. So we are complicit in this too, holding accountability on our side. But on the side of Black women, you have the Oprahs and the Gayles that are complicit in this too, to continue this false narrative of the Black male image of us being the number one public enemy when it comes to rape, which is not true. And even if it is true, why not have the same energy for all? It is supposed to be about exposing rapists, which is an activity, not a race. Why is it that every time a Black man allegedly or otherwise, is doing something sexually wrong and just immorally, just on every level wrong, that the energy is to just a whole nother level? But when it's other people, you might hear few things here and there. They might get a little slap on the wrist or whatever. Next thing you know, you don't hear about it no more. Ain't no big event. And it's just you don't hear this continued stuff as much, you know, and it's just a shame that so many of our people, fall for this. Some of my black female friends, which teach on my feelings are hurt, but just even just recently over this whole thing with Mike and everything like that, and I'm talking about this stuff on social media, just calling out the bullshit with Oprah and Gayle. And I asked my black female friends that are into this all this intersectionality stuff, looking at me like I'm somehow not defending black women because I'm talking about two individual black women that are not on code, two individual black women that, do not have the same energy for their white male friends who we know are rapists. And these same black women that, I guess have considered me friends, I consider them my friends. You never hear them say anything when it comes to the Harvey Weinsteins. And I know it's these particular types of people. You never really hear them too much say anything positive about heterosexual black males. If they're saying anything positive about black males continuously, like consecutively, usually it's either little boys, for the most, it'd be little boys possibly, exceeding the school, things like this, which is good, or it's gay black men wearing dresses. Other than that, they're talking about straight black men. It's what we need to do because we're not doing it. Oh, you guys need to defend black women, which I agree, you know, but it's always what we're not doing or what we need to do more because we're not doing. It's always something negative. But then when it's gay black men or boys, which technically they're not black men, but they're going to grow up to be, it's, oh, look, they're so great, all type of stuff, which fine, but you don't see that same energy when it comes to heterosexual black men. These are heterosexual black women. So it's kind of like, okay, if the only time you want to open up your mouth to talk about is something negative, and you are a heterosexual black woman, and you're mad that somebody is calling out the inconsistencies of how people respond to famous rapists, and you got a problem with that, and you only want to turn up when white society says it's okay, which is when black men do it. how how does that make you look? Really sit back and just think and analyze that. Once again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with calling out black males that rapists, from your everyday, black man in the street to the famous ones, anything in between. Of course, we need to call out our own. But why is it anytime white society turns up, then all of a sudden you see certain black men and women turning up too, but they'll be real silent about rapists of other groups, but they'll say that this is about exposing rapists. But they'll be real hush hush about other groups unless white society tells them that it's okay. These kinds of individuals have no spine. If you want to talk about rape culture, fine, but talk about rape culture. Don't just be like, oh, okay, well, a black person did, a black man, a black heterosexual man did it. Now let me go in and be quiet to all this other stuff, or try to use the excuse of, well, black men who rape black women, so I'm defending black women, but okay, but white men also rape black women. So once again, if it's about rapists, you know, and hell, to that degree, women rape people too, whether that's other women, whether that's children, whether that's grown men. So this was supposed to be about exposing rape culture, then let's expose rape culture and have the same consistent energy. Otherwise, it looks like people are just trying to once again continue the false narrative and false image of heterosexual black men. Not saying that we don't need to do better. Not saying that there aren't black males out, straight black males out here raping people, of course, but it's nowhere near to the degree of anybody else. So make sure we keep the same energy on all, degrees of black society, from the Oprah Winfrey's to the average black woman, you know, and that just creates this, whole continued thing of this whole toxic masculinity, toxic, black masculinity, because once again, it seems to be people turn up when it's about black males, or to label black males when we're being assertive and when we're not always just agreeing with everybody as being toxic. But at the same time, these same individuals say that we're supposed to be the leaders. last time I checked, if you are a leader, you are not a yes man. You are not always just going to agree with the status quo or what everybody else is saying. You're going to say no, this is wrong. Something about this is wrong. We need to change this. Here are the solutions. Here's a path. Here's what I think that we need to do. If you want to chime in, you want to collaborate, cool. But don't expect me just to always say yes, whether it's a black woman saying it or anybody else. But people once again want to do this whole trick bag thing of, oh, well, you're disagreeing with a black woman. Oh, well, you can't do that because they're, a double victim. They're a double minority. So you're oppressing them by saying, no, I don't agree with what you're saying. That doesn't mean that you hate that person. That doesn't mean that you're somehow a hater of black women as a black man if you're saying, hey, wait a minute, let's look at it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people want to just create this whole, trick bag narrative and mentality that, oh, you can't disagree with anybody, or especially black women if you are a black man. But then if you turn around and you're just a yes man and you just have no spine, then people want to say, oh, well, where are all the black leaders? Where are all the strong black men? Why isn't anybody speaking up for us or defending us? Well, hold up. You can't be a leader if you want somebody to always agree with, or if you want everybody to agree with you, but at the same time you want these same people to be leaders. How to think about that? That means you're the leader. If you want everybody to agree and follow what you're saying and what you're thinking in the narrative that you want to push, fine. If that's what you want, that means you're the leader. And people are fine being the leader until it's time to be held accountable, until things start to fall apart and people are looking at you like, yo, this ship is starting to sink. You need to fix it. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, well, where are the black men at? Lift the boat up, lift the ship up before it sinks. No, because before, when we disagree with you, it was a problem. We had to shut up. We know what we're talking about. We're being misogynistic. We hate black women. If we say no, this is wrong, why are you, turning up when a black man in Hollywood for those award shows for the was it the Academy Awards or whatever it was from last month? Once again, all this stuff is old. I'm just kind of rolling into. I'm tired. So, you had homeboy, I forget his name. You had that gay black male actor wearing a dress suit. And look, I'm not here to tell people what they should and shouldn't wear when it comes to this in particular. If you are a homosexual black man and you enjoy wearing dresses, fine, whatever. I'm neither here nor there. My gripe is everybody's response, especially within the black community, how much we as black people will turn up and applaud that. But once again, at the same time, we want black men out here being soldiers, being leaders, all this type of stuff. And I'm not saying gay black men can't be leaders or anything like that. All I'm saying is you want us to be fighters, but you love us in a dress. Tell me how that makes sense. And don't tell me about, oh, well, white people used to wear kilts. And so first of all, that was them. Second of all, if you look at the dress homie was wearing at the awards, which I didn't watch the awards, but I saw the pictures, all that stuff through social media, everybody talking about it. You look at what he was wearing compared to, people in Europe wearing kilts, which I'm not defending that, that's, white culture, that's their culture. But I'm just saying that's not the same thing. All I'm saying is if you're going to turn up more for a gay man or a feminine, man within the black community, don't then cry when you see a video of a black woman at some fast food restaurant getting hemmed up by a white man, and you got these same feminine black men standing around not doing nothing, and now all of a sudden you want some strong masculine leader type of black man. Understand those type of black men aren't wearing dresses. Understand those same type of black men are not always going to agree with you. That does not mean that they don't love you. That does not mean that they don't respect you. That does not mean that they hate all black women. All that means is that person is a leader. That person is using their logic, and that person has a certain path that they are going on. Now you can choose to follow them or not, and that is fine. You're an adult, that is you. But don't try to use that as a way to say that, oh, this person is misogynistic, this person is toxic. You basically try to say that you shouldn't follow him, other black women don't follow him, he's toxic because he's not agreeing with us. But if black men collectively just agreed with the mindset of black women, then wouldn't that mean we are now thinking like women, or at least agreeing and following that energy? Which, once again, if that's what people want, fine. I'm not saying that black women cannot be leaders. There's plenty of boss black women out here. Clearly, like that, you can't debate that. I'm not saying. Well, all I'm saying is, if you want black men to be leaders, that means somebody has to be a follower. Otherwise, who are you leading? You're not leading anybody. You're just a lone wolf on your own path. Which I'm not saying that that's bad either. I'm just saying that's what that is. That's not technically, you're not a leader. Somebody has to follow you, whether that's other black men, whether that's black women, whether that's black children, when that's the whole black community. If you want leaders, you need followers. Now you can have different black men with different ideologies, and people can choose which path that they want to follow, or which black men that they want to follow the path with. But if everybody's saying no, we're not going to follow them because they're being toxic, because they're not agreeing with us, essentially you're saying that, oh, these black men are not following us. But for the black men that are following you, you then want to get mad when you're getting hemmed up and say, hey, how come you're not protecting me? No, you can't do this switch roles thing every time something happens that is troublesome for you, or you get to a situation where you don't want to do whatever that task is. Now all of a sudden you want to flip. No, we're not doing that. So people need to make a decision. Us as black people, do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be a follower? Do you want to be a team player and be a teammate and be a co-owner? What is it that we're trying to do? Because all I'm seeing really now is just combativeness and us fighting over this leadership role. But then when shit is the fan, all of a sudden we want to point fingers at one another as black men and black women. And then you got people, black people in this whole intersectionality movement, which to me, half of that is just black men and women cooning, or as people say, bedwenching and all that kind of stuff. Or it's just black people with no spine that are just waiting for, white men and white women, or Asian men and Asian women, or any other non-black group to tell them when to jump, basically. But they want to say, oh, well, I'm just intersectional. All that is black people caping for everybody else but your own, unless some white folks tell you, oh, it's okay to do this now, or to go in on these black folks, or to defend these black people over here. Otherwise, what are y'all doing? Look at the intersectional feminist black group of people as a whole, not saying individual, but as a whole. A lot of them don't have their own mind. They're just waiting for the dominant white society to tell them, okay, here's what y'all need to, this is what y'all get to say, this is what y'all can't say, this is what y'all can't do, so, whatever. We gotta do better than that, man. But there's a lot more that I want to talk about. I'm gonna try to do another video here towards the end of this week. I work 6 days a week, and I also have a part-time job as well. Just stacking my money up, trying to travel and stuff this summer. So I got a lot of stuff going on. But I'm gonna try to do another video this weekend on the things that I love about black women. Hopefully maybe somebody can do one in reverse. A black woman can do one on things that they like about black men. But I'm gonna just kind of list some things off, and people in the comments, y'all can chime in and give your opinions on things that y'all love about black women as well. But that'll probably be my next video. Stay tuned. I got some other stuff coming within the next week as well. Some more collaboratory videos like I did earlier this year with sorry, I was reading something. But yeah, I'm gonna have some more stuff coming later on, everything like that. Some more collaboration videos. I did one about a month or so ago. Check that video out if you haven't and everything. But I'm probably gonna get up out of here. You know, this is probably a little bit not a lot of energy. I'm trying my best. Like I said, it's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning right now. It took me a hot minute to get this live stream going. I don't know what the hell was going on, Google Hangouts, or if it was YouTube or what, but that shit was tripping. But anyway, I'm gonna jump up out of here. No, that wasn't too organized of a video, but I just wanted to kind of chop it up with y'all and just put some out here. It's been a minute since I made a video, but enjoy the playback. Um, for once again for the person that was in the other live stream and I was trying to get it to work and I couldn't get it to quite go. Thank you so much. I made you a mod, so if I do live streams in the future, you will definitely be a mod. So shout out to you, sister. But yeah, I'm gonna get up on out of here. And as I always say, your boy, the conscious coon killer, killing the coon within me, the coon within you, and I'm out.